Okay, so have a little seat on your mat and cross your legs. And I'm just going to get you to sit with your hands open and palms facing up to the ceiling. And I just want you to take 5 really big deep breaths in and out. On your last breath, I want you to take your right hand and place it over your left knee, and take your left hand, place it behind you and twist round. So you're trying to look over your shoulder. We're then going to come back to centre. Bring the hands up and overhead, interlace the fingers and take a big stretch up. We'll then place our left hand over our right knee and take our right hand behind us and look over your right shoulder. Nice one. Take your hands again up and overhead, take a big stretch up. Nice, we're going to do that again. So take right hand, place it over left knee, take your left hand behind you and look over your left shoulder. Big stretch up, interlace your fingers, big stretch up in the centre. Then left hand over right knee and look over your right shoulder. Excellent, guys. Back to centre, interlace the fingers, take our last big stretch up. Excellent. We're going to come into a lunge position. So if we put left foot forward first, and then I want you just to lean in to that front leg as much as you can. Try to keep the hands off of your knee. If you need to rest your arm on your knee, that's fine. But ideally try to lean into it just with your body. And we're going to try and hold this for a minute. Just leaning forward, really trying to open up through the hips. Push the floor away and push the floor down with your front foot. So you feel a really nice big stretch through your hips. And maybe you should start to feel the front of your quads switch on as well. I'm going to hold this for another 30 seconds. Try to keep your chest upright when you're doing this. Try not to round through the shoulders, so have a little check in, make sure that your chest is open. Nice one. Last 10 seconds here. Excellent. Now we're going to swap over. So just gently rock back and swap over feet. So again, try to put all your weight into that front foot. Push it down into the floor. And try and drive the knee out. We're going to hold here for a minute. Have a little check in, make sure that that chest is open. If If you need to, you can put your hands on your knee if you're struggling for balance. Ideally try to work with it. Wobbling doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do it or you can't balance, it just means that your body's responding to it. We're over halfway. Keep pushing into the floor. Really open up through the hips. Last 10 seconds here. Lovely, bring that foot back, so rock back. And what we're going to do is we're going to swap over, so back onto your left foot. And we're really going to lunge forward as much as we can and deepen that stretch and put the hands down. We're going to start on our hands and then hopefully we'll be able to go down onto our elbows. So take this at your own pace. If this feels like it's enough, just stay here. But if throughout the minute or so you feel like that's loosening off, try, if you can, to put the elbows down. Okay, so we're going to hold here for a minute. So the back leg should be extended. Weight should be forward into your front left foot. We're just going to stay here for a minute. If you feel like this is okay, try to bring the elbows down or even get a pillow and put it underneath and try and get the elbows down. And we're going to hold here. Remember, we're trying to drive the knee out. If you've got your elbows down, try to not crane through the neck, so try to let the neck fall in neutral position, keeping everything in alignment. Another 15 seconds here. Nice, walk the hands back if you're on your elbows. I want you to rock back first and then swap over. So let's go on to that right leg now. So really lean forward into that front leg and extend the back leg out, putting your hands in between your foot. That's it. So really lean into that front leg as much as you can. Push the knee out. I'm going to hold here for another minute. Again, if you feel that you can, try to bring the elbows down. Actively pressing your foot into the ground and pushing the knee out should hopefully create a bigger stretch for you in between your hips. Excellent team, still stay here. Let's walk those hands back if you're on your elbows. Rock back and put your knees together. So you're coming into that tabletop position. And then I just want you to sit back onto your heels. We're going to do a little stretch for your quads. So I just want you to take this one really easy if you've got any knee issues. I want you to come onto your knees. From there, I want you to try and walk yourself back. This might be enough for some people. You might feel like your quads are screaming at this position. And then if you can, just keep walking back. Okay, and then maybe grab onto your toes. We're trying to keep the knees down. We don't want the knees to lift off the ground. We want to keep the knees down and actively push the hips up to ceiling. Okay, so the hips aren't really lifting, you're more just like trying to think about pushing them up rather than lifting. You should hopefully feel a nice big stretch up your quads. So this again, this might be enough for some people. Just stay here if this is enough. Or if you can, walk back onto your elbows. And then if you're feeling really adventurous, try to lie back. We're going to hold here for a full minute. Doing really well, guys. Stay here. Remember, you can go in and out. So if things become too difficult, you can just go back to the pose before. Lovely, well done. Excellent. Walk those hands back up, just really nice and slowly. And then I'm going to get you to put your legs out in front of you and give them a little wiggle because your knees might feel a little bit like they've locked. So bring them out in front and just give them a little wiggle in front. Nice one. Okay, so we're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to stretch out those hamstrings. So sitting up nice and tall, pretend that you've got a wall behind you. Sitting up nice and tall. Flex your feet back towards you. And I just want you to take your hands on top of your thighs and then walk them down as much as you can, hopefully onto your shins, and if possible onto the ankles, and then if we can, grab our feet. Let your head fall so that it's in a natural position and it's not craned up. And keep breathing here. Keep trying to drop the elbows down onto the floor. Even if they're here, get those elbows down onto the floor. Hopefully in time with this one, the more you keep breathing and trying to edge forward, you should be able to get further down your leg and hopefully onto your feet. Actively pointing your toes back towards you, you should feel a nice big calf stretch as well. Keep breathing, keep taking big deep breaths in, trying to go a little bit further. Big deep breaths in, keep going a little bit further if we can. If this is too much, just take them out, give them a little wiggle and then go back in. Nice one. Up we come. Just take a big shoulder roll while we're here. The next one we're going to do is just to open up your chest. So we're staying in this position, but I want you to bring your feet up and knees up. So feet stay planted on the ground and your knees are bent. And I want you to lean back and try and grab your elbow with your opposite hand. Now this already might feel quite taxing for some of us if we've got a really tight chest, but for others it might not feel that bad. What I want you to do is try to walk the feet away and move the hips down. So you're just creating more space if that becomes too easy. And just keep walking your hips down and you should hopefully feel a nice big stretch across your chest. So again, actively keep it open, try not to close and look down at your belly button. So try to look through, creating that nice neutral spine and neutral head, but you should feel this is quite challenging. And try and push the chest open. You should feel a big stretch going right from shoulder through to chest, through to the other shoulder. So right across here, across your pec. Keep staying here. If holding your elbows is causing like a pinching pain, just release and just bring your hands here and try and push your chest open. If it's causing like a little pinch. This one's really good if you sit at a desk. So we've often got really tight chests if we sit at a desk because we're all closed off. Excellent. Just stay here for a little bit longer. Should hopefully feel this is easing now. Nice one. Okay, release the hands from the elbows and just walk yourself up to a seated position. Oh, okay. Bring your feet together. We do this most weeks, but it just really opens up through the back. Okay, so feet together again. You might find that this stretch is enough for you just to lean forward. But if we can try and take it a little step up. So take the hands through and grab the feet. Okay, and then from there, we're just going to lean forward, let the head fall heavy, and we're going to stay here for 2 minutes. Okay, so get comfy, being uncomfy. So we're going to hold here for 2 minutes. Let the head fall. Try to push your elbows into the creases of your knees, and you should feel that back opening. Just remember to breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Just keep breathing. Stay there, team. You're doing really well. We're into our last minute. Should hopefully feel that this is, you're able to go a little bit deeper with this one and it's becoming just a little bit easier. Excellent. So I want you just to slowly release out of this one. So just take one hand out and take the other hand out and close your knees with your hands. Okay, so bring them together. Excellent. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is pigeon stretch. So that's when we've got one foot at 90 degrees and the other leg goes straight, and then we come up and over onto our hips. Our hands go in front. Really try to make sure that your hips are evenly distributed so that we're not sitting on one bum cheek. Okay, so make sure that the bum cheeks are off the floor. And we've got our weight evenly distributed onto your front leg and then your back leg. Okay. Now if this feels quite easy, I want you to try to put the elbows down. If we can do it. That's it. Again, just make sure that your weight is evenly distributed and that you've not rocked over onto one side. So keep adjusting yourself. You're going to stay here for a full minute. If this is pretty easy again, just with the elbows out, you can walk the hands out and try to put the chest down. Excellent. Let's walk those hands back so that they're on the mat just in front of your front leg. Okay, then I want you just to sit on your bum, and then let's just swap over and do the other side. We want to just slowly come out of these poses because it's quite easy just to pull a little muscle if we just fling ourselves out of them. Okay, so other side now. Again, make sure that you're evenly distributed between both legs. You might find that one's tighter than the other. We're going to hold this for a minute, so get into the position that you feel best in, that you get the best stretch, either with elbows down, or if you want to, walk the hands out and try to put the chest on the ground. Nice one. Just walk those hands back. Let's release out of it. And I want you just to come into child's pose. So feet together, knees out wide, and we're going to stay in child's pose for a full minute. Okay, so you can walk the hands out, or you can put the hands behind you, whatever you feel most comfortable in. You're just going to hold that position, or you can make your hands like a little pillow. And we're going to hold for a full minute. I want you just to keep breathing. When you feel ready, just come back up and go just into a nice seated position. Just a comfy seated position when you feel ready.